Okay, so as people come in, what I ask you to do is grab a pen and a piece of paper. Eric, just give me a thumbs up. Yep, you see my screen. Yeah. Um, and then, so pen, paper, please don't watch this on your phone because you're going to want to see what I'm doing. Just an FYI, for all of my soup students, this is really important too. You already have all of the things that we're going to be talking about today. As you come in, I just ask that you also mute your audio. So you don't have to get freaked out that you don't have the necessary things to make all of this work if you're a soup student. If you're not a soup student, there's going to be an opportunity at the end of this to easily become a soup student, but also take part in what's called the boot camp. So let's get into it. Somebody needs to mute out. I think it is, there we go. I got you. I got you. Okay, so welcome to New Client 101. Let's talk about who should be here. If you're running a practice without staff or with staff who you really only want them to be doing what they're really good at doing, you want to be here. If you are running a practice and you feel like everything is really streamlined and you're good on all of your systems, don't spend your time here today because it's going to be a bit wasted. So we're going to get into the nuts and bolts of what's necessary to really crush the new client experience, because how important is that right now? How often do we go to a doctor's office or some kind of a professional appointment and we're just like dumbfounded at the pieces that are missed? If we spend a lot of attention on it and it's the thing that we're always thinking about, we don't drop the pieces. But if it's never thought of, the pieces are dropped, and it really affects you strongly if you're a business owner, a practice owner, a practitioner who spends time thinking about these things. So here's the challenge. The challenge is that most of us are staffless practitioners and we don't want to have staff. We like it that way. We like running the show. We like having the people come in. We like feeling the energy of how the practice is flowing. At least I do. And then somebody will just pop in and say, hi, can I come in and get adjusted? In the middle of your adjusting hours, when you've got 3 babies on the table, you're holding a baby, your puppy's running around, you've got 4 people walking in 5 minutes late for an appointment, the phone's ringing, and you can feel your Apple Watch going off, right? Like that's the moment that a walk-in happens. So what do? Are you prepared? And my hope for you is that by the end of this training is only going to be 30 minutes. You have a bird's eye view into the pieces that you need to do to become more prepared. So how do you give all of the things to all of the people without dropping the ball? And sometimes those balls can get pretty heavy. So I'm also going to talk about the boot camp. So we're doing a 3-week boot camp on all of this. So I want you to know, my soup students, it is totally free for you. It's my holiday gift for you. It's gonna go from turkey to Santa. So from the Monday after Thanksgiving to the Monday before Christmas, 3 weeks of content dropped each week. So on Monday morning, you'll get, okay, guys, here's what we're focusing on for the week. Here are the videos to watch. Here's the homework to submit to me and my team. And my eyes will be on that homework. The boot camp is going to be all about implementing what we're going to talk about today, creating the video, creating the emails, going to the pieces that are in soup school that you have access to already if you're a soup student, and actually putting them to use and getting them going. So that's the boot camp. So we're going to go over who, what, where, when, why. Most of those, at least. So let's start with who. Who are the people who you want to be serving? Because if the people who you want to be serving are, my ideal client is the 30-something mom with the time, energy, and resources to give more and do more for her family. That's my avatar. That's like my person who I speak to when I do marketing for my practice, which I really don't do a whole lot of anymore. Who is your avatar? Who is it that you're speaking to? In Soup School, we talk a lot about ideal client. So who are your ideal clients? Are they seniors? If they're seniors, all of the things we're going to talk about today are going to look a whole lot different than if you're serving millennial athletes, right? So get really clear on the picture of who you want to be serving. so that then you can serve your people in a language and a style that they understand. If my practice, my ideal is to fill it with people who have lived their life, they have gray hair like me, they are looking into their retirement years, I can't automate my communication with them because most of them don't like to text. So I'm going to have to come up with different solutions. But if my ideal client is a 15-year-old athlete who's trying to go pro, I'm going to do most of my stuff on Instagram because that's where they're hanging out, the gram, right? So who are your people? And get really clear on that person. If you're a student, go to the lesson on ideal clients, and you guys pick this apart with a fine tooth comb. I remember when I was, I can't believe I'm going here, but I'm going here. When I was like 9 years old, my dad lived in California, my mom lived in New Jersey, and I lived with my mom. And we used to go to California every like Christmas break to see my dad, and we would stay in a hotel. And I remember one year I had lice. It was going around the school. All of the kids had lice, right? And you guys have seen my hair. Like I have 3 heads of hair. My mom spent the entire Christmas vacation in this hotel with a fine tooth comb going through my head, right? It took days and hours, right? That's what I want you to do with your new client experience. I want you to figure out with a fine tooth comb, who are the people that you want to be serving? So the rest falls into place. Okay, let's keep going. So then we look at the how, okay? How do you want to be serving your people? If I go to, an OBGYN appointment, and I'm going to read a couple of pages from my book in a minute because it's very relevant. If I go to an OBGYN appointment and I walk in and it's cold and it smells and the people are grumpy and I'm waiting for 30 minutes and I spend 5 minutes with the doctor and my bill is $500 and I get signed up to do it all over again, am I going to want to refer people to that office? Heck no, you guys. I don't care how good that doctor is. Or if the referral comes from me to a friend, I'm going to say, the office process is horrible, but the doctor is really good. So it depends on whether or not you're willing to do it, right? I want you to think about your office space. Go into your office as a stranger, with stranger's eyes on. Literally, like if you wear glasses, put a different pair of glasses on and go in and see, how do people see your office, okay, for the first time? What do they smell? What do they see? What do they taste? What do they hear? And what do they feel? Those are all really important. In Soup School, the lesson for that is sensational, and it's in the happy client experience. Also, direction. How do people know what to do when they walk into your office? Is there a flight of stairs that they need to know about? What are the things that a stranger to your office needs to be aware of before they even come to your office? Be considerate, especially think about your ideal client. My ideal client is that 30-something mom. My office is I have 2 offices. They both have a flight of stairs. It's in my new client email to say, warning, we have a flight of stairs. You might want to leave the stroller outside. Okay, you can have a different email for new moms and an email for people who are seniors to change the wording. The goal is to have the emails that you need, the communication systems that you need, so that they happen in a click of a button. Okay, so what direction needs to be in your initial consultation stuff? What money stuff needs to be in your initial consultation stuff? When do you talk about that money stuff? When is the first time that one of your new practice members hears about what their investment options are for your initial consultation? In my office, I have a couple of investment options for my initial consultation. They know about that right off of the bat so that there's no confusion with money. Listen, money is energy. You have to be clean with money. You have to be clear with money. You have to be clean with time, and you have to be clear with time. One of our clients, so we just started a virtual secretary company, and one of our clients is launching her new practice. Actually, tomorrow is her big day. And I gave her the homework of going out and buying a timer. It doesn't work for it to be on her phone. It needs to be a timer. And every 15 minutes, the timer timer is going to chime, and it's a really lovely sounding chime, so that she knows she has 5 minutes left with that client. There's going to be a timer in each room that she's serving in, so that she doesn't go over, because the energy of time needs to be respected. It needs to be respected in the new client experience. It needs to be respected in your day-to-day, because nobody wants to sit and wait for a doctor's appointment or a practitioner's appointment. This is true whether you're online doing these services or in person. Both of them are true. So think about the big picture. You know, one of the things that came up this week in the Staffless practice community is there's so much coming at you guys, because I'm like, I'm shitting rainbows right now, for lack of a better word. There's so much coming out of my brain, out of my heart, and I'm trying to get it to you in the most effective, efficient way possible. This is for SOUP students and for soon to be SOUP students. So how do I keep the big picture in mind when I'm giving you all of these pieces? That needs to be true for your practice members. What's the big picture that they need to see? If we're talking about, let's talk about Dr. Dana, who is on the call. Dr. Dana's people, big picture, they need to know how talented she is with what she does. So every communication, every text, every communication, every email, every phone message, every piece needs to say, I'm so talented at what I do. Not literally, you're not going to say that. It's going to come through your branding. It's going to come through your messaging. It's going to come through your tagline. And my SOUP students, that's all in SOUP Marketing Academy Part 1. Okay, let me read to you just for a minute. It's called The Cold Hard Chair Weight. I just spoke at a chiropractic convention, and there were a lot of people in the room. And let me tell you, you want to be intimidated? Write a book and read to a group full of practitioners. Very intimidating experience. Since as far back as I can remember, I've hated going to the doctor's office. The cold hard chairs, the shiny floor, the irrelevant pictures on the walls, the ladies behind the glass window looking at you like you're bothering them just by breathing. And the smell, oh man, the smell, like every toxic cleaner out there was poured into a bucket and smeared aimlessly all over the floor with a moldy, dirty rag. Yep, you know that smell. Sometimes I have to go do my grown-up visits at my grown-up doctor's appointments. And here's the way it usually goes down. I walk in, I'm hit with the smell. The lights are so bright and noisy, already my eyes hurt. There are 3 other women in the waiting room. They look annoyed, like they've been there for a while. How long? Is their appointment before mine? Am I going to be that annoyed in 30 minutes when I'm still sitting there? I walk up to the counter to not be greeted by a grumpy lady sitting behind a desk that has clearly never been fitted for her. It's too high and she is too little and the chair is too big. But what do I know? I'm just a chiropractor. She looks at me, slides the wall of glass between that's separating us, takes a sip of her Diet Coke, it's 10 a.m., and says, insurance and license, please. In the most annoyed voice possible, like I'm wrong for being there, like there is no wait and I am not paying and she is not loving me in this moment. Did I do something wrong? Maybe I have BO, no hello or good morning or sorry for the wait. Yep, I'm a wise ass, so my response goes something like, oh, good morning and how are you? Usually provoking a smile that cracks the code for some human banter and connection. The truth is, and this is the truth, you guys, I'm probably the first person who has asked her how she's doing all morning. The truth is she's probably a lovely person and totally overworked, underpaid, and not appreciated, probably. So then the question becomes, do you have people sitting at your desk right now who know how important they are to you? On my to-do list, this is my personal to-do list, and sometimes I just have to remember it. Sometimes I have to see it on my calendar. Every Friday, I tell my team how important they are to me. Do you do that? Do you take the time to tell your team what a good job they're doing and how important, if you have a team? If you don't have a team, do you take time to celebrate yourself? Every week, do something sacred and something special for yourself. If you're a one-woman show or a one-man show, you got to take the time, okay? Because then your cup is full, and when these people come into your office, you're coming from a full cup place and you are going to serve like nobody's business. And that's what's necessary right now. No half-assing it right now, you guys. People need real deal care, okay? Okay, so let's keep going. And then walks in the when. When's a good time for appointments? The emails, the follow-ups, like all of the things that need to be done for an initial consultation. In my world, it's important for us a week before the appointment for the email to go out. Or if there's a timing lag for people in my office. If someone wants to make an appointment with me right now for tomorrow morning, you know what? They're going to have to pay extra because there's more admin on my shoulders to do. And I make that very clear. I have different kinds of initial consultations. So how do you need to organize your time when it comes to initial consultations and all of the things that you're doing for a new client experience? This is so, so important, you guys. Finally, the how. How do you do it? How do you make it all work? What are the missing pieces to the puzzle? So if you're a SOUP student, you now have access to a course in SOUP School called the New Client Academy. This is where I go into everything I'm about to talk about. In the boot camp that we're about to start, I'm going to make you do it with me. So it's not going to sit on your computer somewhere. You're actually going to take the stuff in New Client Academy and you're going to put it to use. And again, it's free for SOUP students. So the emails, the voicemail, the video, the code word, and the forms. These are the pieces of an effective, efficient, and productive new client experience in my office. There may be pieces to this that really don't resonate with you, then it's not right for your office. You know, I'm always saying to my students, I'm not a coach, because coaches, in my understanding, coaches tell you what to do most of the time to be the greatest version of you. I'm simply telling you what I do in my practice that works really well. And I invite you to emulate it, to copy and paste it, and then put your language, your branding, your flair on it. So let's get into the nuts and bolts of the how. So the first thing is the emails. The emails, there are 2 emails involved in my practice in a new client experience. The first email is before they come in. And the before they come in email, we call it email 1 in my office. I say we, it's me and my virtual assistant, okay? Many of you know Marge. And the before the visit 1 email or the email 1 for a new client is going to say, hey, Sally, this is where my office is. These are the things you need to think about. These are my COVID rules. This is the mask rule. This is what I say about the jab, or whatever it is that you want to say in that email that's important for you to get across. These are the hyperlinks that I want you to take a look at before we meet. This is a link to my paperwork. Whatever it is that you want in that email, you're going to make that email with me during this boot camp, and you're going to put it where it needs to be. Okay, that's the before email. I always say drop a couple testimonials in it. Even better, drop a video of a practice member bragging about how awesome you are. If you're one of our Staffless Solution clients, meaning we're doing the secretary work for you, all you have to do is, hey, Jodi, here's my client email 1 wording. Da, 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 da. We'll type up the email for you and we'll put it in a trackball for you. Okay, so the second email is email 2 for a new client. And guess what this one is? I've met with Sally. I did my intake with her. We hit it off. We went through what I found. We went through what I want to do. We went through our ancillary recommendations. You guys, this is true independent of, are you a PT, an OT, a chiropractor, a dentist, whatever your craft is. These are the steps that you need to do with a new practice member. Then you're going to say to Sally in the email, before you send the email, so you just did the exam, you had your first meeting with her, maybe you did a treatment with her, and you're going to say, Sally, here's what I found on you. Sally, here's what I want to do with you. Are you in agreement with that, Sally? Does that work for you? So in SOUP School, Russ Rosen talks about the importance of certainty, and he gave us like $2,000 worth of content. There's so much juice in what he gives us in SOUP School. And one of the things that he talks about is getting agreements with your practice members. So there are 2 agreements that are going to happen. The first one is before you get started with your practice member, you make an agreement about what they're looking for in the experience with you. The second one is you're going to say to them, this is what I want to do with you. Does that sound good to you? And you're going to get an agreement with them. If you don't get, you guys, with everything I teach with new client stuff, This is the most important thing. You have to be on the same page as your practice members. If you start talking about, I want to see you for 5 years, 3 times a week, and I want you to pay upfront cash $5,000 a year, and they think they're there for 2 visits because they have a backache, or they think that they're there because they can't extend their arm, and they think maybe it'll take a month. You guys are on the wrong, you're not on the same page. You have to make sure that you're in agreement with what their expectation is and how you can help them fulfill that expectation. This is the big girl stuff. This is hard for me. This is hard. It feels vulnerable the first few years that I did it. And now I'm like, absolutely, I have to be in agreement with my practice members. They need to know what I do. I need to know what they want. And I need to make sure that that's matching before I talk to them about how often I want to see them. I hope that that makes sense to you guys. So we're going to figure out what are the agreements that you need with your practice members in your office during this boot camp. Okay, so that after, let me go back to the email 2. Email 2 is going to be, okay, Sally, are we in agreement that this is the care that you need, and these were my findings, and this is how much it's going to cost? Does that sound good to you? And Sally says yes, and I say, okay, Sally. When you go home tonight, I want you to check your email. And there's going to be an email in there from me, from yours truly. If you don't see it, just shoot me a text. That means that it landed in spam and it's no good to anybody. Okay. And then I say, Sally, this email is going to have a video in it. And you might have to say it 3 times. Did you get what I said? This email is going to have a video in it. The video is going to be me showing you around the office, showing you where to put your keys, where to go to the bathroom, where the snacks are, what to do when you lie down on the table, showing you all of the nuances of being a practice member in this office, okay? The video is also going to tell you what to do with this form. This form is how often I want to see you, what my findings were, and what it's going to cost. Guess what you're going to do, Sally? You're going to take a picture of this form after you filled out the bottom half. You're going to send it back to me. And then I'm going to know what to do with you, how often, like where your appointments are going to go, what it's going to cost. Do you want to pay in full? Do you want to pay each visit? You guys are going to customize this form that we're about to get into to match what you want to do for your practice members. I'm not going to tell you what to put on that form. I'm going to tell you how to figure out what to put on that form. I hope that that makes sense to you. So those are the 2 emails. Let's get into the voicemail before we get into the forms. So the voicemail is going to be, if someone calls my office right now, I better be addressing the new practice members if I'm working on building my practice. So it's going to sound like, if you're a new person wanting to join our practice, I'm so glad you called us, right? So you're going to address a few different types of people in your voicemail. Definitely 150% address the new practice members. If you're a new client looking to schedule your first visit with us, or if you're new in our world, use the word new. If you've never been to the office before, if you're a new patient, we're so glad that you chose us. There's nothing more powerful than saying to somebody, like in the cold hard chair wait, if the lady behind the glass window had said, your time is really important to me and I'm sorry that we're running late. Do you want to go run an errand and we'll text you, when we come up for air? That would have felt so much better to me. That's a true, real deal story that really happened. So you want to make sure that you're addressing all of the people in your voicemail, especially your new people. We're going to put the voicemail together with you in the boot camp. Okay, so the video. What you're going to do in this video, you're going to be sending Sally an email. The email is going to have a video in it. Here's what I want you to think about, and we're going to spend a couple minutes on this. What are the things that you do with your new clients on their first visit with us, with every single client? What are the automated things? What are the things that you're doing that could be automated? Like, here's the bathroom, here's where the snacks are. This is where if you need to sign something, this is where you do it. What are the things that you show people or say to people or do with people on their first visit, maybe even on their second visit, over and over and over again? What are the things that you could say in your sleep, or maybe you even do say in your sleep? The things that you say over and over and over again. These are the things that are going to be on your video. Does that make sense? So you won't have to say them anymore. You're just going to have them watch the video, and the video is going to have all of the repeats and automation. Make sense to you guys? So my video gives a tour. My video goes over the new patient report, and I'm going to show you that next. My video tells them how grateful I am that they chose me, and I recognize that they have a choice in healthcare providers. My video goes over what if they want their family members to come in, and my video goes over exactly what to do with that form. So there's no question marks. They can watch the video 50 times if they want to. Okay, so the video is going to have two pieces to it, and we're going to go into this in an exhaustive way during the boot camp. It's going to have a code word, and it's going to have a gift card involved. So it goes like this: Sally, I'm going to send you an email tonight. It's going to have a video in it. Watch the video. It's going to give you a tour of the office, and it's going to have a code word at the end. Listen for the code word, Sally. What are you going to listen for? I'm going to listen for the code word, Dr. Jodi, right? My code word is love wins. So, and then I say, Sally, you're going to hear the code word. You're going to text it back to me. You're going to take the code word. You're going to shoot me a text just with the code word. And I'm going to send you an Amazon gift card. So I'm congratulating her for listening to the automated things in my office, right? She doesn't need to know that the Amazon gift card is for $5. She doesn't need to know that the coffee shop down the street's gift card that you're going to give her is $5. She just knows that she's going to win something, and all she has to do is go watch a video. Okay, this is how the new patient video works. This is what's in email 2 for your new clients. You guys, this is a game changer. I'm telling you right now. So start thinking about what are the automated things that you need in the video, and then we're going to create the video together during the boot camp. I want you to think about what code word really resonates with you. Love wins is kind of my jam. It's a sticker that I give all my practice members. It's my license plate, LUVWINS, like, because it wins. When does love not win, right? So, and I've been saying love wins for years and years and years. I've given the stickers, I've had the shirts, all of that stuff. So that's obviously my code word. What's something that would really resonate with you as a code word? And the thing is that love wins is actually 2 words, and I always make a joke of it. Like, I can't count, but I'm a bitchin' chiropractor. Something cute like that. Be you, show your personality. Some of you would never say that to a client, but you guys have to understand I'm like everybody's sister or best friend when they come to my office. I see I have a request in the chat. I have a 12:30. Love you. Love you too, Eric. Okay, let's go into the forms. You ready? So one of the things that the doctor who's starting her practice tomorrow really needed, so she's hiring us as a virtual secretary, and she's going to dictate her notes into a voice memo app that we give her. And then we're going to type up all of her notes for her, and we're going to put them where they need to go in the Jane app. That's one of the services that we're providing. But she said to me, Jodi, I really need something that I can quick do chicken scribble on while the patient is standing in front of me. Like, I don't want to write. I don't want to type into a computer. I just want to be able to chicken scratch on something, maybe draw, or any random notes like Sally's not feeling good, or Sally owes us for the last 3 visits. I want to write it right there. So we created this form for her. It's the front, the back, and the sides of the body. And she can just draw in what her findings were, so that at the end of her shift, seeing patients or clients, whatever word you want to say, she's going to take her phone and she's going to be like, all right, I saw Sally, patient 3962. We keep everything HIPAA compliant. And then she's going to read off her notes, and anything that Sally said to her, like she had a migraine on her right temporal lobe, whatever it is, it's going to be on this paper. This is the paper that she's using to guide us into giving her a great note dictation experience. And then she can even put notes about her payments on this form too. So that is the in-person treatment note thing. And you guys, this is so simple. It's literally just drawing. I have done notes like this in my office. Nobody looking at them would ever understand what they mean. So this is not for somebody to send back to my team to do note dictation on. This is for her to jog her memory about what she did with each person, because she's not going to have time to do it, and she doesn't have staff to do it for her. Okay, this is the report form. You guys can all see this. You guys, I can't even tell you, maybe this took 15 years to perfect. I'm not even kidding you. So, and little did I know while I was creating this form that I was going to be sharing it with the world one day, but really this is, everything is on this form. And we're going to create the form to be perfect for your practice. If you're a SOUP student in the New Client Academy, this form is in the New Client Academy, and it's in a Word version, a Pages version, and a PDF version. So make it your own. So it's my findings, and I go over with my people what these mean. That's very important to me. I'm a big educator. I'm a very passionate principled chiropractor. So I talk a lot about, like, what is a subluxation? What does it mean to the overall wellness? What does it mean to the planet? Like, I go there with my people, right? Care plan recommendations, ancillary recommendations. This is the area that I'm going to talk about. Plant medicine, I'm a Young Living person, so I'll talk about Young Living here. If I want to refer to any of my affiliate partners, I'm going to put it here. And these are all things that probably have already come up during my time with Sally. There are no surprises on this paper. Like, if I'm doing an exam and I notice that she's got a lot of swelling in her right foot, I might send her down the street to the cardiologist that I trust a lot. That's just a silly example. Or if I'm doing a palpation exam and I feel like her uterus is really swollen, I might send her to the OBGYN that I have a really great relationship with. That's where this is going to go, the name and contact information of my OBGYN. Any movement that I have that I want her to do, whether it's a sit, cross, lean, stretch, or the joint freeing series, or we do a lot of birth fit recommendations in my office, and nutrition support. So in my office, I'm what they call a straight chiropractor, meaning all I do is chiropractic and I refer out for the other stuff. So like, if somebody is a really amazing nutritionist down the street, this is where I would put their name. Or if I want them to do a Whole30, I would put it here, whatever it is. And then at the time I was using this specific form, I don't do this anymore. People had the option of coming in alone or being in a group experience. In my video, I explain what that means. My adjusting hours are here, and then they give me 3 requested appointment times, like Tuesdays at 5:30, Thursdays at 4. Chances are, if they can come on Thursday at 4, they can come on Thursday at 4:15, right? So all I do, and this is what my secretary clients are going to do too, I take a picture of this form and I send it to my admin, and she puts it all in for me. I don't do any of this stuff, you guys, and I don't want you doing it either. Finances, if they want to pay per visit or pay in full, that's what I do in my office. And I was just sharing with one of the clients that's on the call right now. At this time, I just keep my care plans very short. I don't do year-long care plans anymore. I don't do 6-month care plans. I do max 12-week care plans, and that's what will be on here, based on here, how often I want to see them. And then if they want to send their family members in, this is where they tell me. Go ahead and, if you're intimidated to ask for referrals, it's not intimidating at all to have them check a box and list names and numbers. And then guess what? I send this to my VA, which you can do too, and we reach out to those people, or we reach out to the client and say, hey, I saw that you wanted to get little Sally in for an initial consultation with Dr. Jodi. What time works best for you? It's as simple as that. So this is the form, guys, and we're going to create this form in the boot camp. Again, if you're a SOUP student, it's free. Okay, so the challenge, the boot camp, it's 3 weeks long. It is in between Turkey and Santa, so the timing is pretty intense. I get it, but it's 3 weeks long. We're going to have 3 courses that are dripped to you, 1 course each week. And there's going to be 2 meetings. The first meeting is going to start us off, and the second meeting is going to close us out. The meetings are on Mondays at noon Eastern, and all of this will be sent to you if you grab a spot to the challenge. I did want to take a minute and just go over all of the moving pieces of the Staffless Solution. So we have the club at Staffless Practice, which is the support that I give to my community members. We use the Marco Polo app, we use texting, we use email support unlimited. It's free if you're a SOUP school member for your first year, and then it's $79 a month currently after your first year. SOUP school is yours for the rest of your life. You pay once and it's done, right? The club at Staffless Practice, which is your best friend feel and practice support membership, that's always going to be under $100 a month. That's my promise to you. So that's the club and Soup School. The Kind Board is what we create for you for your texting, your emailing, your Jane app stuff, your website creation, all of the things. And your Kind Board is where we communicate back and forth together. Like, okay, Sally, we did a check-in today. These are the texts that we sent out for you. This is who we scheduled. It all goes on your Kind Board. We use Trello as a vehicle for your Kind Board. The co-op for the Kind Board is a membership of $150 a month, and you get discounts with all of our partners. Like, your texting app is a third of what I pay for my texting app. Your email account is $29 a month. Like, the prices are ridiculous that you get from the co-op membership. And then some people, we put together a Kind Board for you. We put all of the templates in and the words and the brands and all of the stuff. And then some of our clients say, okay, now I want you to run it for me, Jodi. And our secretaries on my end who do this over and over all day long can run everything for you. We can text your clients. We can schedule your appointments. We can shop on Amazon for you. Whatever it is that you need, we've got you. So those are the moving pieces of the Staffless Solution. If you want to grab a seat to boot camp, again, it's free for my Soup School members. You still have to register though. It's stafflesspractice.com/challenge, or text me 908-495-6988. If you are not a Soup student, here's what I'm doing, and I'm not going to do this for long. I'm giving you a seat to Soup School at my original pricing, which is $22.50. We just bumped it to $24.50. So you get a seat to Soup School for $22.50, and the boot camp will be free for you. If you do not want a seat to Soup School, that's totally cool. The boot camp's $4.95. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna stop recording.